When I first found out about Upwardly Global, it was fall of 2012. And back then I was in the country for over 4 years, like almost 5 years. And when I just came here, I found a job that I considered like a temporary job when I just found it, like a so-called survival job. So I haven't really noticed how that job moved into a permanent one. And I stayed there for all those 4 years without even trying to get something different and go back to my professional field. Back in Ukraine, I have education in economics, and I've worked in the field. And so here, after those 4 years, I realized that I need to move on and try to look for something else. And that's where when I started applying online and filling out those long applications and filling out resumes, sending out resumes to different employers. And the problem that I faced, and probably a lot of you are facing, I wasn't getting back any responses. I wasn't getting any interviews. Like, it was nothing, just silence. So that was about the time when I found out about Upwardly Global. So I think in September I met with JD, and he told me about the organization, and I joined in, and I visited the November 2012 summit. At that summit, I found out a lot of new information for me. First of all, that was a great experience because I met a lot of people from different countries with different backgrounds, and they all had great experience, work experience from their own countries. And I actually felt myself underqualified because I didn't have that much experience, but they were all facing the same challenges. They were applying, and a lot of us, we were applying to the lower positions that even we worked in our countries, but still we didn't get any replies. So after the summit, probably I hope you will have the same experience. So the second day, at the end of the summit, we were all excited and filled with inspiration and enthusiastic to start our job search. We were really encouraged by Upwardly Global to stay in touch and to work with them together to go through that process and to reach our goals. So after the summit, I met with Aditi, and she offered me to go through the set of informational interviews that you will probably learn about that a little bit later. And that was a totally new concept for me. Informational interview, it's interview with a person that works in your field here, maybe in your position, the one that you're aiming for, or just in your field that can help you to get a feel of the field, how to get to that position, what would you like to go through, what would you need to go through to get there. So I agreed, of course, and she found 2 matches for me. So 2 people that were willing to talk to me and to help me somehow. So the first interview, we were introduced over email, and we set a time and date, and I still wasn't sure because I didn't know how that works. So that time, all I was doing is answering questions. And an informational interview, usually you're the one who would ask the questions. So I just Googled some questions and wrote them down and got myself ready, hoping that that will work. And I went to meet that person. Her name was Peggy, and she appeared to be a great person, and she was really trying to help me. She told me what education she has, what she does, and she tried to help me to find maybe different approaches to maybe find some positions I could apply, not for those that I'm applying, since that wasn't working out for me. And she also told me that right now she's looking for a job. So word by word, I think we were there for like an hour, and she told me that recently she applied to some of the job and she went to interview, but she didn't really like the position, but she really liked the company that interviewed her. And she said, oh, actually, you can go ahead and browse through their job webpage and look, maybe you'll like some of the positions, and I could, connect with their recruiters because I know them. And I agreed. I said, okay. So that the same night, I came home and I researched that website and that company. I found a position that I could qualify for, and I emailed her right away. I emailed Zoya to help me to look through my resume, what should I need to change. So with her approval, I sent out the resume. I submitted it on their webpage. I also emailed Peggy, so she said she would contact the recruiter. A couple of days later, I think, I received an email from recruiters from that company, and they said the interview right away. They said that they would like to meet with me, and after that interview, I got another interview, the final interview. So that was a big consulting company, and I was really excited. I was waiting for that response from them. And then I got a call back from them that unfortunately I didn't go through, and they decided to go with someone else. So I was really upset. Probably a lot of you know, like after some not very successful interview or some unsuccessful experience, I decided to take a break and not apply. And Zoya told me that it's okay to take a break, and I decided to take that break for a month. It lasted longer, of course, but then one day I think I received an email from Upwardly Global about another event they were having, and there was Mac interviews. So I decided that could be a good start for me to try it one more time, to start it again. And I went to that Mac interviews, and I met all people again. I met even people from my summit, and that encouraged me again to start it and to keep moving. So I started applying again. I started getting calls or emails from guys from Upwardly Global that someone was interested in my resume. I got some calls that they were looking at my resumes in Upwardly Global, and they liked, so they would like to set up the interview. I talked to some other people, and somewhere in between of that, I got a call again from that consulting company I was interviewing before, and they said that they really liked me back then, and they have a new position opened, and it's kind of in my field, and they offered me to come over for an interview, and they asked me if I'm interested. So I decided, I said, of course I'm interested, I would like to go to the interview, but this time I wasn't that enthusiastic because I was like, oh, give myself time, and after the final interview I'm going to get excited. So they invited me for an interview one round, and then for the final one. And after a couple of days, I got an offer from them, and I got hired. So I'm at this position less than a month, as we were just talking, so it's not a month yet, but I'm really happy at where I am right now. This is totally different experience that I had before. I feel right on the right track. And so this is my story. I'm happy with it, with what I have, and I'm here to tell you, to share my story, so it will encourage you to keep working with Upwardly Global. Stay in touch. Do not drop the search. Don't stop. Keep on moving, and eventually it will pay off. And I'm sure that all of you will find something that you're looking